In the 1930s, times were dark in rural Kosciusko County, Indiana, both literally and figuratively. This was true not only in the local community, but throughout the nation.
Born January the 9th, 1918, down the southeast corner of this county.
I still remember when we first got electricity.
So when it got dark, you had to light a light. There was a kerosene lamp. I still have one in the basement.
And we had to get our school lessons, our arithmetic and our reading under a kerosene lamp.
In the 1930s, farmers and rural families dreamed of the day that electricity would light up homes and farms to bring them an improved quality of life.
Well, we dreamed about having electricity for several years before electricity came from the Kosciusko County REMC.
Electricity was available in parts of Kosciusko County by private power companies serving the area. But during the 1920s and 30s, the price was much higher than farmers and rural families could afford. But this was all about to change in rural Kosciusko County. And change it did when farmers and rural families banded together to find a way to turn the lights on.
I mean, a lot of the neighbors helped put poles in and anything. I mean, everybody was so anxious to get it and do it. So they worked together to do this, and it is just that. It is a cooperative thing.
Big ideas for rural America. 75 years ago in Kosciusko County, a small group of individuals had a very sizable idea: start an electric cooperative that would serve a small but growing northern Indiana community. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed into law the Rural Electrification Act of 1935, which provided federal loans for the installation of electrical distribution systems to serve rural areas of the United States. For the next 3 years, maps were drawn to include all farms and houses in the county. REA loans were approved, and the powerful journey began with the setting of a single pole.
When electricity come through, the wiring switched right over. It met all the standards, and that came through around 1940.
When we heard that electricity was coming to our house, and it was always referred to, we farm folk, as juice. And my mother really took it serious. She thought it was juice. And on the day that electricity came to our house, and it was announced in the morning that they were going to turn on the juice, my mother seriously got a dish pan and put out on the dining room table to catch that juice, because she didn't want it to ruin the table.
One of the best things that ever hit this country as far as that is, because we got it into the poorer people, and Lord knows then we had plenty of them.
A membership fee of $5 was collected with a signed REMC membership application, and power lines began to be built. The total number of applications was just over 1,300, and on October 1st, 1938, the first Kosciusko County REMC office was opened at 114 North Indiana Street, Warsaw. Kosciusko County REMC electrified the first home on Friday, February 22nd, 1939. Little Peggy Phillips, who just got off the school bus, threw the switch that brought the current flowing into the living room of her family's home. About 60 homes were energized each day in the following months.
Power was turned on to our house, and it was just something like that we had never experienced before, even though we had been able to go to town and flip switches of visiting somebody that had electricity. But to have it in your own home, why, it was really a great feeling.
I was just a kid, but I remember when that come through, we were milking quite a few cows, and my dad, right off the bat, he bought a milker and hooked that up, because he was a school teacher and had to be gone early in the morning like everybody, and so that was a big help.
I think when electricity first went around, I was 19 years old, and before that was kerosene lights, and there was no lights between the house and the barn. You carried your lantern. But from that time on, the living changed, the cooking changed in the homes, You had lights, you had water pressure, you had bathrooms, you had different things. Made life more easier, more enjoyable.
The first annual meeting was held for the members of the cooperative in that same year. As the number of members grew, so did the need for more efficient equipment. With an idea and $75, Morris Salmon built the first successful self-leveling aerial platform. The rig was used to trim trees and maintain lines. Over the next 10 years, the cooperative grew rapidly. By 1950, the REMC membership had grown to the extent that the high school auditorium would not accommodate the group for the annual meeting, so it was held at the Lake Theater.
All the employees were very dedicated. We were very seldom without electricity very long because they would work all through the night to get our electric back when there was a storm.
Restoring power after a storm was a family affair.
Been here for almost 38 years. When we first started, there was 4 linemen, and at the time the linemen got called out, their wives had to answer the phone and was given $5 a week to take care of that responsibility when their husband was gone.
In 1963, Wabash Valley Power Association was formed, and KREMC was one of 21 co-ops to start buying power from them. Everything was still handwritten, meter reading, bills printed in-house, and all checked by hand. But technology was emerging, like the billing machine, mainframe computers, and we hired our first IT person. By the 1980s, Kosciusko REMC had 12,081 customers and 1,211 miles of line. And through the 2000s, modernization accelerates. After-hours calls were now handled by a call center, and communication with operations personnel in the field included cellular phones. The culmination of the plan was the installation of the advanced meter infrastructure, completed in mid-2013. With the flip of a switch, we have lights. And for most of us, we can never remember being without electricity.
There's been so many changes over my lifetime that REMC has made available to everybody. And I feel that it has been a very, very beneficial thing that we could have something like this and make it available out in the rural areas. So I'm grateful that REMC was established, because there's so many things that we would not have had available if we didn't have the REMC to bring the power to us. So.
Kosciusko REMC prides itself on being a leader in the rural electric cooperative industry. The co-op consistently maintains the lowest residential rates in the state and is still able to invest in technology to better serve members. 75 years later, Kosciusko REMC provides electricity to over 17,500 homes, businesses, and farms in parts of Kosciusko, Fulton, Wabash, and Whitley counties. As a cooperative, we understand community involvement. We know the importance of community support, and we will continue to help our community grow and prosper.
We're changing. There's going to be new things coming down the road. I'm sure that we haven't even thought of new forms of generation possibly and so on. So it's an exciting thing, and I just hope people appreciate what they've got, realize it.
Kosciusko REMC's 75-year rich history can be attributed to the men and women who have tirelessly dedicated their careers to the success of the cooperative.
People are really great to work with. Everybody gets along, but it's one big family, a co-op family.
The REMC has been a family to me as it has been to the community.
From little Peggy Phillips flipping the switch that lit up the first home to what the cooperative community has become today, for Kosciusko REMC, it has been a powerful journey and will be a powerful future.